It's a new season, a new year, an opportunity to start afresh, to reset, to refocus, and to launch out. But even as you think about your work, there's this fear, anxiety, panic that is building up even as you see the clock ticking towards your day of resuming work. This workplace anxiety is a common feeling, and it might be caused by a number of issues. One of the issues is about probably the work organization culture. Sometimes when the culture is too toxic and it's not interesting to work, you imagine going back to that same culture that you left last year, you're feeling a bit anxious and panicked. Another thing that may cause this workplace panic is your manager or your boss. If you're coming from a period where your boss is too toxic or not creating an environment for you to thrive and work and just divide and rule and of petty politics and things that you see that are not working for you, these two can make you have a very bad panic attack about going back to work. Some other reasons is about the targets, the sales targets, and you know that if this is your new year or is at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year, you know that new targets are coming in and you don't understand, you don't appreciate how these targets are usually drawn, and the environment is usually very chaotic and a lot of mental pressure is needed. And so your system is telling you you're walking into a meeting and that meeting is not going to be interesting, and already your heart is already pumping and wondering, am I able to sustain this environment? Another reason why we might have workplace anxiety is when we're working in teams that are no longer aligned, teams that are toxic, teams that are not coordinating, teams that are competing against one another. And you imagine yourself going back to that team and your system is just telling you can't do this again. Another thing is because of your financial needs. Sometimes you've pushed a lot into the team, but the compensation you're taking home is not sufficient enough to cater for your needs. And so you're thinking about how am I going to manage this season of my finances with this job that is very demanding. I work so many hours, but the pay is not commensurate. So you think about how you're going to push through again with this mega salary or a salary that is not sufficient. You just start feeling drained and you start feeling panicked. Another reason perhaps that brings workplace anxiety is when you've outgrown your role. You've done enough, there's no new challenge, there's nothing new, you've stagnated in your career for way too long, you've been looking for a new job and nothing is coming up, and you imagining yourself going back to the normal business as usual, nothing interesting to learn, and this feeling is giving you a level of anxiety. And these are some of the reasons that we find workplace anxiety. So how do we deal with workplace anxiety? One of the ways is to, number one, identify the cause of the anxiety. Of all the many reasons why you feel anxious, pin what exactly it is that is causing you to be anxious. Whether it is the workplace culture, whether it is your boss, whether it is a team that is no longer supporting you, whether the role has become too business as usual and there's no new challenge and you're not feeling any commitment or any drive to do the job, or if it's because of the pay that is not commensurate enough for you to look forward to even going to that work. Identify what is the cause of that anxiety. Once you identify that cause, then you look for alternatives. Alternatives means that out of the entire role, there are things that you do not dislike, but there's some aspect of that role that you like and make you happy about it. Then you identify alternative and focus your mindset on the things that perhaps that make you happier or slightly happy about the role. So once you identify alternative, then you shift your mindset and say, as much as this is not working for me, let me try and focus on this other area that is working for me. Then the next thing as you do that is to reset your expectation. When you reset your expectation, it means you understand that in this phase of my life right now, my manager is not supportive. That's why there's nothing I can expect from my manager. My team members are not collaborative. So even if I need help or I seek help from them, they're not going to give me the help that I need. The culture of the organization is not very nice at this moment. People are here, everything is about politics, everything is about who knows who. The leadership is not concerned about the welfare of the employees. Reset your expectations so that you know that you don't expect something from the leadership when you know very well that the culture is too toxic. If it is the targets that are crazy and you know that they are going to come, you reset your expectation and know that, by the way, no matter how hard I'm going to try and fight this thing is not going to work. And once you reset your expectations, you are aligned and you know that, by the way, this thing is not going to happen, then you build your capacity for the next phase of life. Because you understand that you are not going to be in this phase forever. So you look for ways to learn, to become better, probably do another course, or probably look for new areas of networking, probably build a new experience, learn something new, get involved in a different project, just learn something different that is going to distract you from this phase and just give you purpose as you look for other things. And finally, plan your exit. Look for ways in which you are going to get from out of that toxic culture, and look for a new environment where you are going to feel the thrill and the beauty of having a career that is supporting you.